startling truth. The latest American and Israeli attacks on Iran were never primarily about stopping a bomb. They were about disciplining a nation that refuses to bow to outside dominance. And that single fact changes the entire story. But here's where it gets controversial. For decades, Washington enjoyed a compliant partner in Tehran. In 1953, the CIA orchestrated the overthrow of Iran's elected prime minister. After he dared to claim the country's own oil, the Shah was reinstalled, becoming quite literally the regional enforcer of U.S. wishes. With generous American backing, his feared secret police hunted down liberals, nationalists, leftists, anyone who challenged his throne. Fast forward to 1979, a broad popular uprising toppled the Shah, and hardline clerics eventually pushed aside their secular allies to seize full control. From that moment, U.S. policymakers nursed a lingering grudge. Iran had expelled a faithful client, taken American embassy staff hostage, and refused to abandon a nuclear research program originally built with U.S. help. Even worse, in Washington's eyes, the new rulers openly rejected U.S. primacy in the Middle East. Stopping a hypothetical Iranian bomb became the public rationale. The Obama administration's 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, blocked the technical pathway to a weapon. Simple chemistry confirms it. Yet President Trump withdrew in 2018 and reimposed crushing sanctions, predictably leading Tehran to enrich uranium beyond JCPOA limits. Only then could Hawks point to escalating enrichment as proof that Iran was racing toward the bomb. If the objective were truly non-proliferation, the logical move would have been to re-enter the deal, not abandon it. And this is the part most people miss. Israel's security was not the main issue either. Iran has attacked Israel only when first attacked, and the Israeli Defense Forces possess far greater conventional strength plus an undeclared but widely acknowledged nuclear arsenal. Tehran's annual military spending is dwarfed, not just by Israel's, but also by that of Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and the United Arab Emirates. The deeper aim appears to have been strategic. Bleed Iran's capabilities and signal that defiance of U.S. hegemony carries a heavy price. Airstrikes targeted far more than nuclear facilities, and experts estimate any setback to Iran's atomic program will last mere months. In other words, the military campaign cost lives and inflamed tensions while gaining little technical advantage. To see why, look back to the 2002 U.S. National Security Strategy, which flatly declared America would not tolerate rival power centers in resource-rich regions. Iraq's Saddam Hussein fell in 2003, Libya's Muammar Gaddafi in 2011, and Syria's Bashar al-Assad was forced from power in 2024. That leaves Iran as the sole recognized government in the Middle East still challenging Washington's writ. History offers parallels. Washington hounded Nicaragua's Sandinistas in the 1980s and has punished Cuba for over 60 years, largely because those states resisted U.S. domination despite their modest size. Imagine then how a populous, oil-rich, strategically located country like Iran would loom in the crosshairs. Cue another controversial angle. Both Republicans and Democrats increasingly insist that any future nuclear accord must also address Iran's backing of militant groups and its nasty human rights record. Sounds reasonable, until you notice that the United States eagerly sells arms to Gulf monarchies with even bleaker rights profiles and their own extremist ties. Selective outrage, anyone? Underlying U.S. thinking is a stubborn fantasy that Iran might somehow be shoved back into the brief 1953 to 1979 window when it served as a pliable client. Failing that, Washington seems prepared to keep Tehran under sanctions, feed weapons to Iran's rivals, and lob airstrikes whenever convenient. Ironically, no one would cheer the fall of the Islamic Republic more than ordinary Iranians. Yet most opposition activists refuse to become proxies for the United States or Israel. External military pressure only fortifies hardliners in Tehran, undercuts domestic reformers, and postpones the organic, homegrown change that could steer Iran toward genuine democracy. So here's the final question, one that could split opinions wide open.